welcome to the Webcast for Tuesday, June 30th. I'm South Ops meteorologist Jonathan O'Brien. The beat goes on as we close this month of June with a deep marine layer remaining in place. In fact, the marine clouds appear even more expansive today as the marine inversion starts to re-strengthen following some disruption in recent days. This will lead to very slow and in some cases incomplete clearing today while sunny skies dominate across the interior. Here's a look at yesterday's lightning map. The same disturbance that helped disrupt the marine inversion also brought enough lift to generate some showers and thunderstorms across the Sierra. The storms mostly stayed over the high terrain, but we did pick up several dozen lightning strikes. This unseasonably deep and persistent trough still has a few good days left in it, but it will slowly start to weaken as we head towards the end of this week. By the weekend, weak high pressure looks to establish over the desert southwest, bringing us a steady warming trend, but it will continue to fight against attempted troughing intrusions from the Pacific, likely capping our warm-up to only seasonably warm early summer levels. For today's weather, it should come as no surprise that with this deep trough remaining in place, temperatures will remain well on the cool side of normal. Highs today should be similarly cool or even slightly cooler than yesterday west of the coastal slopes, and perhaps a degree or two warmer across the interior, but all areas are looking much more like May than the end of June or early July. We continue to have a dry overall air mass in place since the axis of this trough is more over the interior west than over the water. High humidities associated with the marine layer will continue to extend much further inland than usual, but we will still have minimum humidities of 12 to 25% across much of the interior and single digits in many of the deserts. The troughing pattern is also keeping a breezy onshore flow regime in place, and will do so for several more days. Winds are not as strong as they were this past weekend, but southwest to northwest winds of 15 to 25 miles per hour with gusts to 40 miles per hour and locally higher will remain common across the interior mountain ridges and desert passes through at least Saturday. Here are our forecast highs by Thursday. Will start to very slowly moderate, especially across the interior, but remain well below normal and will continue to see the same deep marine layer pattern along and west of the coastal slopes. Slow warming will continue as we finally get rid of that troughing pattern this weekend. By our 4th of July holiday, valley highs should recover into the mid-80s to low 90s, which is at least getting us closer to normal but far from any significant heat. Slow warming may continue into early next week, but temperatures will likely start to level out and reach no more than near to slightly above seasonable levels. Dry weather is also favored to continue as the frequent troughing influences will prevent the development of a traditional monsoonal pattern. Some longer-range models do show the development of a more robust four corners high-pressure system later in the second week of July. This would bring us both a hotter pattern and a much better chance of monsoonal moisture. However, the long-range models have been very poor of late and have completely whiffed every time they've shown this four corners high attempting to develop, so we'll just have to wait and see how things go as we go deeper into July. In the meantime, the cool weather and deep marine layer will continue to keep our dead fuel moistures above normal and ERCs well below normal this week. Even live fuel moistures, which have been running below normal, may trend back towards more seasonable values in the next couple of weeks, as their seasonal moisture declines are slowed by this unusually persistent cool pattern. In fact, we're already seeing some hints of that. Here's the latest live fuel data from LA County, with live fuels poised to trend back towards average values in the next couple of weeks. The cool pattern and reduced fire danger indices will continue to keep our area-wide large fire probability all the way down into the low category for a few more days, well below where we should be this time of year. Only light initial attack activity is expected. There will remain some conditional fire spread potential across the interior areas and especially the deserts due to breezy and dry conditions there, but any concerns should be of the light fuel and single burn period variety. By the upcoming holiday weekend and into next week, fire potential will trend up at least a little bit due to the warming trend, with increased IA likely due to the holiday. We'll get back into the moderate category for the area-wide probability on this product by the end of this week. However, the lack of extreme heat and this preceding cool pattern will still work to limit the overall potential. That's it for today's webcast. Thanks for joining us. Next one will be on Wednesday, July 1st.